Chicago Slim coming with the win. Super Puppy Podcast, the best podcast, Super Puppy Podcast, the best. This is Super Puppy Podcast, the best podcast. Better than the rest, Super Puppy Podcast. Busting shots in your ass, Super Puppy Podcast. Don't sleep, y'all.
Welcome to the latest installment of Super Puppy Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Minor, aka ChicagoSlim, and the name of this episode is Welcome to Magnificence. And my guest today, we're going to switch it up a little bit, take you away from the comedy, move you into some acting. David Yo Oliver is here today. Yes.
Good. Sexual
chocolate and Hercules all in one. Okay, so David is an actor. He's been on TV, he's been radio, he also does martial arts. We're gonna play a fun game with him later to just test his knowledge of Kung Fu and blackness. Okay? We're gonna talk, so let me introduce you to the people. You've worked on your own reality show, Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was directing that helping out a freelance modeling agency. And I was also like an acting coach for her team.
Oh, okay, I could be that.
Right, I mean, trust me, it was a thing that they just needed to do it, and now one of the young ladies is on Bravo doing a reality show named Sana.
Okay, hey, Sana girl.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you're also working with them to do a music video, you were saying.
Yeah, I shoot a music video for one of my mentees who wants to be a filmmaker and director. So we're doing that on April 19th, and I'm basically showing her how to convert it from a music video and a short film simultaneously. And this is how I put together a whole project without a big budget, which is the common misnomer that everybody has.
Yeah, you want to make it look like it costs a lot, but it doesn't necessarily have to cost a lot.
No, it's all about skill and technique and experience, and that's why I'm trying to tell her, you go to the classroom, this is like DJing or anything else with entertainment, you learn the basics, but it's your style, it's your vision that you must know first, then you execute, because without that, somebody can take your concept and you be mad, but they don't know how to execute it as well as you.
Boom. Did you hear that, Sean? Okay, yeah, he just know how to say it. You said it right that way. They'll try.
Somebody can take your concept.
They can try.
But not execute it as well as you.
Ooh, they never can do it the way you do it. You hear that, America?
Exactly.
Message. Okay, so we also want to talk about the David O Show.
Which is an actual fictional show. It was actually a show that I designed as a tutorial to teach people when I was doing my thing on public access. I had two shows about comedy, and one was about hosting and being an entertainment host. And it was just the point that I got tired of these so-called experienced actors before me who knew all this stuff, but then they couldn't host and couldn't do nothing with the red light come on. Because when that camera goes hot, everybody got to know every millisecond is boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You can't drag it out like hard. So I had the guy, the question mark guy, who teaches how to get the government grants. I had ladies from the Black Sister Book Club, and I just did the show, and I had one young lady come out and dance, and everybody went 8. And I said, okay. So I haven't found the venue to take it, because I really wanted to where it's about educating the people on what's in their own backyard.
Oh, okay.
Like literally all the resources we have here in the DMV, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, this is true.
Right. And since I have it all, I'm trying to give it away for free.
Yeah, like the question mark guy, huh? You can use this maybe?
Yeah, I actually used this thing to get a grant to do my own Kung Fu film.
Right, you know?
You know what I'm saying? And it was a Chinese folklore that I wrote, and I actually took to a Buddhist temple in Rockville, Maryland. And when they saw the concept, saw who it was, they were like, well, who wrote it? I said, me. They were surprised. And then they was like, who's playing the lead? I said, me. So for those that can't get it, I'm 6'6", 340. And I do splits and kicks to the ceiling like, Bruce Lee. So
and the chairs, holding on to the chairs, holding on.
That's why you don't get the new stuff from IKEA.
Right, chair. Holding all that together.
If I fart, it's done.
Please don't fart.
Smell me bad.
No thanks. I think we're good. Okay, I was really excited to see this because I recently started watching Gotham.
Yeah.
Love that show. Love it. If you haven't watched it, first 3 seasons are on Netflix.
Yeah,
and the season that David is on Netflix.
Yeah. Thank you, Netflix. That is extra money coming in every month.
Oh, you get paid?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
You're welcome.
One check could be like $40, and the next thing could be $400.
Oh, yes, Netflix.
Netflix is my thing. Sorry, Monique.
Sorry, Monique. I mean,
You is not getting my checks.
right.
No,
He's
girl.
getting paid off of that movie.
It's like government cheese.
Right. So yes, Gotham. We're happy to hear that. Die Hard 4, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that was my first thing being an extra. No, my second thing was being an extra for that in Baltimore when they came. And I was just really there to learn, like not just being an actor, but how to do the production aspects, location scouting, costuming, and plus I hate it, but networking was a key thing that I was doing back then, and it made good sense. And the funny story that I met Bruce and Justin Long was because there was an older lady who was overacting, even though she was an extra.
Doing the most.
Right? 200-pound guy running the camera, two guys flanking him, and Bruce Willis and them running out the police station. They're charging towards her. Everybody else cleared the area. She has her back turned, talking to an imaginary person. They see me snatch her about the way because they were about to run her. So imagine 600 pounds about to crush her coming down the hill.
Wow.
And that's why I tell everybody that was an experience for me just to see from live on set how things are done on all sides of the camera.
Wow, lifesaver. We can add that to the resume.
Yeah, I just don't worry about it. I just do what's needed.
Triple X2 State of the Union, and this is not with Vin Diesel.
No, that was the one with Ice Cube, and that was my first legit
Ice
gig
Cube.
on the set. Yeah, and it was a scene where we were all at the Capitol at the staircase, and they chose people to play the diplomats that were being held hostage.
Look at
And,
you.
yeah, William Dafoe was right there, so being this close to William Dafoe and just
Like-
studying, you know. So I tell people, these are master classes I'm having. I'm not just all geeking because I want to be on camera. No, you know your role.
Willem Dafoe is good.
Yeah, and trust me, his
He's like
dramatic techniques, it's butter. He don't say nothing, he just does it. Even in rehearsal, he just comes out ready.
Yeah.
And I noticed that with a lot of dramatic actors. Some come out ready, some have to prep, but he's already there.
Like on.
Yeah, by the time he comes out the door, he knows what he's doing. He delivered his lines perfectly. The guy playing the president,
Flumped. Shout out to Willem Dafoe. Let's give him some props. That one movie where he played the vampire.
oh yeah, oh damn, I can't remember the name.
That one did you see it, John? That was great.
Yeah, no,
Like-
Dracula or something?
Yeah, it was like Dracula, but the old Dracula.
yeah, the old version, yeah. No, my best movie with him is Oddly Enough, and he brings it to the Spider-Man series.
Yes.
Okay, you think about when he plays the father, you feel the dramatic side of that story that's normally missed in the comic books because of the animation and this, that, and the other. But he brought that certain charm to that character to make you love him.
Yeah.
And his son's, trying to get his love. It was right there, it was a perfect balance. And nobody who's played the father has done that since.
He can play a good guy, he can play a bad guy, and you never hate him.
No.
You know, that's a great actor right there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You've been in loads of commercials.
Yeah.
AutoZone.
Yeah, I started out, and that was a surprise to me when I got the starring role in that.
What's the starring role in the AutoZone commercial?
Well, I'm the lead person, so as soon as
No, I mean, are you like the person driving, going shopping?
Oh no, I'm the guy that's holding a large 20-pound alternator in my hand.
Oh.
And then I go shopping, and then you see the other people working with
okay.
me. So it's like 5 of us per video, per commercial.
Oh, okay.
So it was like 10 actors, and we all rotated. So I was the first lead in mine, and my friend Mike was the lead in his.
Oh, okay.
So we had the 2 everyday guy thing working for us, and it just so happened the director was black, and he was like, what impressed me was not how he tried to show his blackness and his alphaness over these other people, was this how he was like, let me get people to showcase the everyday man. And when he did that, it made sense to him. He said, didn't you have a 1964 Pontiac Le Mans, candy apple red, with silver flakes, and a white top? I said, yeah, brother. That's what got me to roll. Because of that car. You know what I'm saying? Because when I talk about it, you see me light up.
Yeah, like,
You know,
hell yeah, I had that car.
And it was the thing. So that got it, and it was just great to see me in front. And then it played, I didn't know it came out. It's playing on wrestling and all this other stuff, and everybody just went crazy across the whole country. So it was like a boom when that happened.
Boom. Do you get a discount at AutoZone?
To a degree, at one point in time we did.
Nice.
Yeah, so some of the things got perks if they know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
So as long as I
benefit.
go to Long Island, they know me because they were starring in the commercial.
Oh, okay. So it's actual like employees in. Okay.
Yeah, because they didn't want the actors to play those. They tried it, it didn't work. So they said, let's get real AutoZone employees and put them with the actors. And funny thing about it, me and my guy, the reason why we let we have a conversation, because we're talking about midgets and elephants having sex.
What?
It was to get him loose and we just started talking about midgets and elephants having sex.
With each other.
That or just bestiality period. It was just crazy. And
Okay,
we had a full-on conversation. So it worked. It looked natural. It was a natural conversation. They were like, "Can y'all start talking about car parts?" I'm like,
I mean, right.
it was flowing. What did I do? Me and him have a conversation. It was just a funny thing.
That is funny. Okay, Puma commercials.
Yeah, now that one was funny because again, I was the only person who did not get no shoes. They didn't have size 14W.
Oh well.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm playing the bouncer.
It's your fault.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else like, oh, what are you wear? 9, 7?
He's like 26.
So I got a picture of me online doing this. A little pair of Pumas.
Tiny ass shoes.
Right, I'm like, hey, you know, but I did get a vest, some jeans, and a shirt out of it because I played the bouncer. Where it's talking about all the kids who are sports, who are basically athletes, but they play non-traditional sports. And they're trying to get into a nightclub, and I kind of stopped the 3 guys that were trying to get in.
Oh, okay. So better watch out. Bouncer, we can add that.
Right.
Toyota.
Oh, that was funny. I played a big guy with a little wife, about maybe your size, trying to get into this little ass car.
Little.
Well, for those who don't know, this is Shaq. This is Jada Pinkett.
I'll take
You
it.
do the math.
I'll take it. Thank
Right,
you.
you know what I'm
She's
saying?
in Gotham.
I can just hold it up, baby.
Okay, all right. Let's bring it back.
So what happened was,
Bring it in.
but that same night they on set, they caught me talking smack to the girl that's my wife, and that actually ended up in the commercial. I said to the sound guy, did you get all that? He said, yeah. So the guy is getting out the car trying to convince me to buy a bigger car. And that was the whole bit behind that. So it was just funny, because I could actually literally pick up the car that I was in, which was hilarious. So it was funny.
Great. Okay. Also a kung fu master.
Yeah, I do Jeet Kune Do and Magnificence.
Say that song.
Jeet Kune Do, which is Bruce Lee's technique, which is an extension of Wing Chun, which is a technique designed by women.
Oh.
So it increases flexibility and accuracy without utilizing a lot of power. Basically controlling your chi.
Oh, okay. So do you ever use kung fu in real life?
Yes.
Give me
Because for a
a
long time I used to do rough rugged fighting before MMA came out.
Oh, okay. Like that's when you just fight.
Yeah, we fight different types of fighters. Like you had boxers in there, you had karate people, you had judo people, you had people who were just like grapplers. So it was a whole gambit of people.
Wow. Do you ever use some of the kung fu practices like when you act?
Yeah, actually I've done stunt work mostly for independent stuff, and then I did it on MTV for their show called Eye Candy with Victoria Justice, where again I'm playing the bouncer, but they converted 2 characters into one. Because I was only supposed to play the one guy that stops the guy at the door who owns the club. Mm-hmm. But then they added me when they found out that I can do the split. When they saw the picture of me dressed as showing up, and then the picture of me doing the split, that said, wait a minute, they were like, that's you? I said, yeah. So because I kept it on
Doing
my
a
phone.
split. He did say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure she gets the clip so y'all see it. Like, nah, what? Okay.
Like are your arms up like this?
No.
Or oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like funny to them, so they just like fascinated, so they converted the 2 characters, and then me and the guy who is an actual former MMA fighter did a scene together, and everybody went crazy.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I've used it on different sets, and I'm trying to do more now, so yeah.
Also improv.
Yeah, when I do improv, it's more about the technique of getting from A to B, but the journey that's in between. Mm-hmm. And most improv actors, they tend to find it funny, if they're doing comedy, they tend to dwell on the comedy, trying to make a joke.
Yeah.
Versus just being the joke itself. You know what I'm saying? Because improv is basically what you would do naturally in the situation.
Right.
You know, like I give you an example. You're now the drug dealer,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
I'm a 13-year-old prostitute on the street, right? How do we make that funny? Now, what would you say to me to get me to get the drugs?
Bend over.
I don't know, you ain't got no money.
You see these guns, bitch?
You ain't scared me because I got Rico in them, they got all blades, so whatever. Bye.
Get
See what
that
I'm saying?
bitch. See, I would have people working for me. I'd be like, get that bitch and bring her back here.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So it's basically your reaction to it. And what we technically kind of did
Thank
was,
you.
right? Instead of funny ha-ha, we did funny aha.
Right, like,
No,
That was
because
a
it's
funny
the reaction. No, because the reaction is natural for you. You didn't know what to do as a pimp, but you tried it.
Oh, I know what to do as a bitch.
Oh, there you go. You see what I'm saying? So that's how improv works. And that's where a lot of people miss the technique itself when they do it. They're so busy focusing on the dramatic or the comedy aspect instead of what would you do in real life? That's the whole point. You're taking the audience from A to B without no script.
I will be honest though, you threw me off when you said 13, because I was like, uh-oh.
Right, and that was my point. Right.
Pedophilia?
Exactly.
Okay.
A real subject, and how do you make it funny?
Right, that's scary. Okay, so, speaking of acting, thanks for that little exercise, loosened us up. Sean, you feel loose? How long have you been acting?
Well, actually, David Oliver has only been alive for 10 years.
Oh, okay, so that means this new persona.
Yeah. The actual person. No, I don't do characters. I do persons.
Oh.
Everything I do is like Donovan Sinclair, Lee Nubai, all of them that I do are just characters. I mean, they're not just characters, they're actually people.
Lee Nubai from?
Not Lee Nubai. Lee Chi-Mu was my character.
Oh, okay.
But I based it off of Lee Nubai from that one film. You know what I'm saying?
Crouching Tiger.
Right. And I gave a little bit more flair to my actual Kung Fu master at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I'm actually doing his thing, and he's a black man.
So you actually have a Kung Fu master?
Yes. Todd Russell. Seafood Todd Russell. What's up, man?
Seafood. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That was in a movie, in a Disney movie. What movie was that?
Yeah. Actually, that's the funny thing about it. You didn't know, but I actually went out to play Poe for Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, really?
For the live action thing that they were going to do through Disney. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know. I thought they were going to have me play Tai Long or one of the big rhinos, but they wanted me to be Poe. And it was a 5-hour audition, and I'm telling you, next thing I know, I'm all the way over into Belgium.
Right. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
If someone was gonna make a movie of your life, who would play you?
It'd have to be a relative unknown, because the thing about it, they have to play a guy who's extremely introverted, yet has creative juices that he's desperate to give to the people.
Oh, okay. So you battle with that.
Yeah, because even right now as we're doing this, it's an issue of giving you what David the old Oliver would versus David Lipscomb.
Okay.
The guy who would be happy to sit up in his house with his flip-flops watching anime and Kung Fu all day.
Well, then you're right at home, because I was just in my flip-flops.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm not naked, so that's
Well, yeah. Thank God.
right.
Okay.
Next episode.
Did you kill one of my guests?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Who do you look up to? Like actors, performers,
Well, because
directors?
I'm Gemini, it's twofold.
Okay.
When I first started out, I was doing Bruce Lee and Shaq's body, because Bruce Lee, as far as the action and the essence of cool and the mystery, being mysterious at the same time, that was him. And then for the reality check of who I was, Michael Clark Duncan.
Okay.
And the movie
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I was hurt when he died, because he was one of the main people I wanted to work with, because a lot of people didn't know he was also a director.
Okay.
You know, but people, the way that was great about Michael was, it wasn't about just his size physically, but the size of him internally that he could project into the screen. And when you watch the movie Green Mile,
Oh my God, excellent movie.
right? I haven't watched the entire thing for this whole, never watched it all in one setting. I always watch in bits and pieces. And everybody said, why do you do that? I said, because I'm focused on him and how he's interacting with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
You understand? And the main thing is how he's interacting with the two little white girls that died.
Right.
Okay? And some people saw him as a buffoon or something like that. I said, no, this is a socially inept person. We have a lot of people like that around us. But he has a wonderful, magical power within, but because of his size, they can't embrace him. If he was 2 feet shorter and about 150 pounds lighter, it would have made sense for a person of that stature to have that power and be, you know, not saw as a killer. So knowing that, being 6'6", 350, at the time I was 350, it just made sense to gravitate towards him.
Okay, excellent. Are there any bad days on set?
Oh, nice.
What makes it bad? It seems like it's just all heaven. Y'all got all this catered, delicious food.
No.
Actors everywhere.
No.
What's it like? Give us a like typical day on set.
If you go, like, okay, so indie work, of course, everybody knows. You're gonna get cold pizza, warm Coke.
Oops.
And
You got that.
Right, and if you're lucky, you'll get that halfway through the shoot.
Well, I had it ready first. Duh.
Right, she had it ready. And the magic of that is you're still working for people to figure it out. When it's legit work, yes, you had the catering people, they'll sit there with one table, and sometimes they load it with junk that's gonna make you worse. right?
Like make you tired.
Yeah. That junk food don't work. And then you got technical issues all day. That's why I try to tell people, when y'all watching this stuff, and I tell people come work with me, they're like, but Dave, why ain't we? I said, you are not on the set of Gotham. You do not have $100,000 to do this every day. They said every day. Yes, that camera guy, that grip, this personal hit, that tallied up with just those 3 people at $45,000.
Okay.
Because people got levels to this, and you have to understand that.
Oh, let me thank Sean for his work, because I am not paying you $45,000.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
Now, what comes with that though, he would have the whole camera, his own assistants, and all this other stuff. You wouldn't need to do anything else. That's what you're paying for. He's not only going to be prepared for every situation, but he's also creative enough to know what to do with it. To make it, so that's what makes it easier. That's why I say with legit stuff versus indie, it never really changes. Technical aspects, actors can't remember their lines. You know.
But is there someone there like, the bird flew, like reading it?
Even still, it doesn't matter. If you're not having, if your mind can't grasp it, it's going to be a problem. I know one day I could not say a couple of lines in this commercial I was shooting, and I was pissed off at myself. But I just could not get it.
Yeah.
You know, and it took me a while. It wasn't one word. I think it was like 3 words out of a 5-sentence thing that I had to say, and I was just like,
what is wrong? Right.
Yeah, I was in full character, and that's when I realized it was the word.
Interesting. This is very interesting. Where do you see yourself grow as an actor? Or is it now like transitioning into directing and producing? Like where do you see the future David O?
The Gemini factor. For David Lipscomb, I've already exceeded my expectations.
Okay.
Because I had limited views. And that was because of what I was surrounded by for 17 years. And realizing that the power of my presence changed that. And in doing so, I've already reached my goal. I hit the national stage numerous times. Okay. I've been alongside people like Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer. I got on HBO, I've been on major networks, and then I've also done my own thing with commercials and film. But what kicked it off was me being right down the road down here at DCTV. Learning how
Shout out to DCTV.
Keep in mind, folks, you learn the basics wherever you go. The goal is to take your style and your vision, learn yourself, and expand on that. Not just the technical aspects, then you do what they want. That's the problem. So I've grown beyond that in both aspects.
Oh, well,
so
congratulations.
Thank you. I don't really have it. I just want to work.
You just want to keep going and creating.
Yeah, because I don't really understand that type of goal in this thing, because again, it's ever changing.
Yeah.
It's always evolving. Like this example here with a podcast. Next year it could be us doing something through a telephone. You know, technology causes things to changes, and the audience and the consumer makes you want to change. So my thing is just keep working. Keep working.
I'm with that. Welcome to Magnificence, everybody.
Yes. Yeah, that was a slogan from a company. So I'm like, welcome to Magnificence.
Is welcome to the or the just regular?
I always put the or the in front of everything to make it sound like
It is the Magnificence.
Well,
then I'm gonna say welcome to Magnificence.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It's
my show. Damn right.
ChicagoSlim, baby. Smoke 'em.
So what is your what is your dream role?
Believe it or not, to do a remake of the movie 5 Deadly Venoms.
Okay.
And I played number 4.
Remind us what it is.
5 Deadly Venoms was a film from the late 70s where it revolutionized the way you shoot action sequences and fight scenes in films now.
Okay.
And the Shaw brothers
In what way?
Because they made it where the moves were shorter, tighter, and the camera angles were more compact, so that when you saw that motion of the person's movement, it was right on the money. So we didn't have to spend, because like Sean's right there, right? So if you're looking at Sean right now,
oh my God,
just that quick. You know what I'm saying? Now to them, I just came across your whole nose.
Right. Is that what that looks like, guys?
To you felt the wind come across there, right? But to us, if you see the camera, turn this way, I was this far away from her face. So I was never, I was never. But that's what they did. They revolutionized the way to do it, so that now in these days in action, you can tell the difference between Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and American style fight choreography.
Oh, okay.
Because in China they have what's called a red trouser troop. And these guys actually fall and take hits. Oh. They go for now. In America, they do the 8-inch rule.
Oh, okay. That wasn't 8 inches though.
That was 1.5.
No, I felt the wind. It was like...
But that's how I met Paris Hilton. I did 10 punches to the producers on a moving bus. And they saw me do a roundhouse kick and a split on the outside of the bus. And when Paris and Nicole got on the bus,
You were like,
said,
"Ooh,
"Tell
was
me
that
what to
your
do."
big ass doing that shit?"
Yep.
And you were like, yes!
That on national television for you. You know what I'm saying?
Are there any bad roles?
Yes. Not the typical roles to say as a black man, this is cool and that's too easy. I'm saying roles that don't allow you to define your growth.
In what way?
Well, and again, it goes back to you asking the levels of where you want to go. Once you know your style and you know your brand, you must be strategic about it. Like everything I do, even with doing this particular project, I make sure it works within the brand of what I want to do so that the next person sees me say, okay, now we're going to put him on this show.
Okay.
Because it's worth talking to this guy. So next thing I know, I'm on Hot 99.5. Next thing I know, I'm on Fox Morning News. Then I'm on such and such. It grows. And so if you keep taking roles that keep going sideways or you keep playing the same thing over and over again and the surrounding elements around it don't elevate you. You can do the same thing. Like you see, great example, Leonard Part 6 with Bill Cosby. Sucked. Why? Because the director chose him to do exactly what he did on the Cosby Show. And people paid $10 at the time to go see Bill Cosby do the same thing they can see him free on every Thursday night. You know? And Patti LaBelle even said when she was doing her show, she had to make the director step up.
Show?
She had Out All Night on BET.
What was that?
Her, Morris Chestnut, and Tisha Campbell.
Oh yeah, I used to watch that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I keep track of all of that because those were bad roles, they said, until she stepped in and made him step up.
But you know Patty, honey.
Oh yeah. But Bill didn't. But again, somebody of that magnitude, what do you do with him? You force him to do something different. Mm-hmm. That's why you saw Marlon Wayans in G.I. Joe.
You don't need to do nothing else different, Bill.
Right, but then you saw Marlon Wayans in G.I. Joe trying to be more of a serious action guy.
Mm-hmm. Now he's on Lethal Weapon.
Exactly. No, his brother is Damon.
Oh, brother, yeah, that's Damon.
And you're correct, same thing. He was this comedian now playing a serious dramatic role established by Danny Glover. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Good for him.
Yes.
Where did the interest in Kung Fu martial arts come in?
Just as a kid, just seeing what they could do with their bodies. Because I was always fascinated with that. Even though, in the black community, we were doing African dance and stuff like that. I just kept saying, I was always small until I was like 16, I had a growth spurt.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up like this, literally. And,
hello, everybody.
Yeah, because I used to be called Little David. So it was always, I was a smaller guy.
And they were like, what?
Yeah. And I was like, I still keep the mantra just because of my grandfather. His name was Big David. I'm still Little David no matter what happens. And
like Little David?
Yeah, it works. I say little wallet, little penis, whatever works for me. You know what I'm saying? But no, it just was a thing watching them and seeing how they move their bodies, and I was saying this was something unique. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see a lot of brown faces. And when I saw Jim Kelly, hey, I was done. Through the hard way. Right. Shit, that's my joint.
Well, good. And okay, so this is all coming together nicely in a nice little soup, okay? Because
I don't know what soup.
Kung Fu, martial arts. You said you do cosplay too, right?
Yeah, I got a guy that's a professional cosplayer, so they make my outfits. So when y'all saw me dress the show enough,
that's what I was gonna tell guys. So shout out to Shal and Jazz for doing this live outdoor movie night. Okay, where they play Kung Fu movies, and then there's DJ Two-Tone Jones. Shout out to him. Shout out to Gerald. Yeah, shout out to the homies. But this particular night they did The Last Dragon. Everything was great. We had our chairs, we had our tea, we had our water bottles filled with tea. Okay.
And down south DC Bid was there.
And then who do we see strolling down the promenade, dressed as, shown up, David the old Oliver. He was doing splits, he was taking pictures. I got a picture like, ow.
And the funny thing about it, I had told Gerald and DJ Two-Tones maybe like a week or two in advance, yo man, I can come through. Funny thing about it, the next day my father had a stroke.
Oh no.
So that night you guys saw me, no one knew.
Oh.
And I had just came because a friend of mine, I was supposed to meet me there, she had a rehearsal. She kept saying, you know what, you need to go. This is what you do. People have come to know you for this. So through that, making them happy, maybe you get 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so I came purposely from,
friend.
oh yeah, I came from the back. Notice I came from the back, not the front.
Yeah.
Purposely, so that people wouldn't know I was coming. And I didn't say nothing to Gerald and them. I just said, let me see if they remember. So when I walked up, people didn't know until they saw me back, like, what? And they saw all the commotion. I'm just standing there.
I know, look at me like, that was like such a perfect, like, that was the cherry on top. It was a beautiful day.
If they do another one, I got a great character for them. I'm going to see if I get my guy to do it, and I'm going to be building the staff myself.
Yeah.
So I got guys who professionally dress up, and if you don't know what cosplay is, these people dress up as characters from TV shows, movies, comic books, video games, you name it. And you might have heard some Awesome Con, Comic Con, stuff like that. I would say you guys should check it out. If you love to dress up, period, and not have to wait every year for Halloween, this is the time to do it.
Okay, you heard it here first. I like to dress up for Halloween. I wouldn't call myself a cosplay person.
Right.
What do you call them? Cosplay artists?
Yeah, but they're kind of just cosplayer because they sometimes
Players. Okay.
They just want to keep it simple because to define it any other way is crazy for them because they're not professionals. They just look like they are. But my guy, he knows how to make costumes, so because of my line of work, he's been deemed a costumer, professional costumer.
I love it.
You know, so because of my association, that's giving him the professionalism that he wants. The professional licensing he wants, I'm sorry.
Well, keep it up, because I love a good costume.
Oh yeah. The next one is Monkey King.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, imagine 6'6" Monkey King.
Yes.
For those of you who know who that is, you'll get it.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is combine all the things we've talked about into a lovely game that I like to call The Last Dragon. I watched this last night just to make sure I was keyed up.
And the funny thing about it, me and Ty Mack met and I was dressed and showed up talking to them.
Yes.
So I should have some insider tips.
I will forevermore have a crush on Ty.
Oh, he still was the same. We talked about that. He talked about that. Then me and him took pictures together. He actually wanted to take pictures with me, which was funny.
And I would teach him some moves.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, half the women in the room.
Yeah.
I was like,
I went to see that movie probably like 5 times when I was a kid. Like, can we go back to see The Last Dragon again? Because something about that guy, I just need to make sure he wins again. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is play the game to test your Last Dragon knowledge.
Who doesn't that shit? Let me see what I got.
Number 1. Is Leroy's nemesis Shonuff known as the Shogun of New York? Yes or no?
No.
That is correct. He was known as what? The Shogun
Of Harlem.
of Harlem.
Peace.
Okay, number 2. Serious game.
Okay.
At the breakfast table, what were the 2 names that Mama and Daddy Green called Leroy's little sister? Was it, hold on, Patricia and Jessica? Kashia and Philema? Chandra and Christina? Or Natasha and Sophia?
D. Natasha and Sophia.
Very good.
Well, y'all get the girl's name right. She going up here confused.
Right.
Thank you. I remember that scene very well. I said,
Shout out to Keisha Nyquil.
You ain't gonna get me on that scene. I remember that scene very
He
well.
was like, thank you.
Yeah, and my man Ricky that died. Oh man.
Who, the little boy?
The brother, yeah. Leroy's brother, yeah, man.
He was a tough little guy with them leather pants. Yeah, white ones and black ones. Okay. Was the Bruce Lee movie that Laura had shown Leroy at 7th Heaven Enter the Dragon? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if that's correct.
Yes.
Yes. Because
it's the #1 one that everybody uses as a template, even for the video game Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Oh, boom. Factoids.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4. Now this is a tricky one. Exactly how many goons were with Shonuff when they raided Leroy's dojo?
And the first time?
5, 6, 7, or 8.
The first time? The first time?
Yes.
The first time they came in here?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it was Beast, the white kid, the other brother, the Asian dude, and the 3 ladies. 7.
All right, look at that memory. Be like, and then it was like 7 little kids.
Oh,
One in
yeah.
front, 2 in the
Because
back.
Beast is my man. Beast!
Peace. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Number
Ladies, get a lip out of this lip. Win.
Win.
Okay. Them girls is bad. I love that.
In the scene when Eddie Arcadian was gathering up new recruits to stop Leroy, what did one of Eddie Arcadian's new recruits do to ensure that he can get double of what everyone was making? I remember this.
I'm sorry.
He had beaten up one of Arcadian's guards. He bit into a 2x4 and spat it out. He punched a hole through a brick wall, or he broke a table in half with his head.
Actually, all your answers are incorrect except for one. He bit into a pair of nunchucks and spit it back out.
Incorrect.
What?
He broke a table with his head. Remember, this was the dude in the furry vest that was like, arr.
And what about the one that bit the nunchucks?
He bit the nunchucks during the fight.
Oh, okay, you got it. I was about to say, this dude said 2x4. I'm like, oh,
That's that little kid, no.
Yeah, and then the white Mr. T.
Yep. That white Mr. T had it bad.
I ain't on front. When they passed him, I like, bruh. Good little wee.
Yeah, I know. It's just like a fat ass, like, dude. Okay.
She got me though.
Number 6.
That was a trick question, yeah.
Did the trainer that Leroy Sensei sent him to find give Leroy the help he needed? Yes or no?
Yes.
Incorrect.
How so?
The trainer that Leroy Sensei sent him to find was the computer.
Right.
So he did not give him the help. Oh, he could have if you're thinking on a...
Which is what he was doing. If you use Confucius as your basis, it was a symbol of what could be. And since Leroy needed to manifest it into a physical person, it would utilize as the one to kick back. So yeah, if you use Confucius, I'm sorry.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, she's winning.
I'm not Confucius by that.
She's winning.
Yeah. What was Daddy Green's first name? Paul, Leroy, Michael, or Antonio?
Leroy.
Direct to your feet. Oh no.
Yeah.
Because he was senior.
Right.
Oh, you talking about Junior?
Yeah. I don't know that.
And I might not tell you where he was if I did.
Oh man, when he kicks that damn jukebox.
That mama was tough. She was throwing dough at people's faces.
I love that scene. That scene kills me every time. They redid it with Justin Bieber playing on the video. And sure enough, kicks. Y'all ain't seen that on YouTube yet?
No, I thought you meant like a nude last.
No, I wouldn't. Trust me. I was thinking it, but when I saw the clip, I said, "Who? What?" And all of a sudden, baby. And sure enough, kicks the screen like, "Wow!" He goes, "I don't know that."
Shut up, dude. Okay. Number 8. Does Richie buy a ticket to get into 7th heaven?
No.
No, he never does. Remember? Okay.
I always envision myself as the fat white friend is.
No. He was down.
That's how big I was when I was younger.
The little kid?
I was a fat kid that was always getting dragged across the thing.
He said, wait for me, guys. That was David. Okay. Number 9. There is one place you have not looked yet, but it is there, and only there shall you find blank. Okay. King, champion, master, or legend.
Say it again.
There is one place that you have not looked yet, but it is there, only there, you shall find the king, champion, master, or legend.
Master.
The master.
But this is a duck buckle. I use it to hold my guns. She got the accent down. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, let me listen to her. She got just like him. Go ahead,
I just watched it.
Don't start nothing up in here. Don't start it, because I'm trying to do smoking rhymes on you.
Do it.
Ferris wheel. The view from up here is so clear and real. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it started. To the beat of the rhythm of the night.
A little hazy. That was more like a hazy.
Yeah, you know, that was like drunk 5 o'clock shadow thing going on. Whatever.
He wasn't smoky just yet. Okay.
Well, I'm practicing to play the drunk dude and other things, so I can do it everywhere I go.
That was good notes. I heard.
Never acting point. Always practice 24 hours a day.
Oh, okay. Even when you sleep?
Yeah, because you want to be this person by the time you're done. Right. So you wake up like a drunk guy, sound like that.
That's what happened to Heath Ledger. Remember, he was eating, sleeping, drinking the Joker, and then
Exactly.
The Joker joked him.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, it's bad trying to shoot it. Sorry, Heath Ledger. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Number 10.
All right.
Does Leroy know who Laura Charles was before Richie talked about her?
No.
Yes.
Before he talked to her?
Because he talked about her in the kitchen, but remember the night before, he lost the belt buckle saving her.
Yeah, but your point is...
Did Leroy know he knew?
Who she was as far as an entertainer or as a person? Because remember, he didn't know that she was on TV. He just knew there was some chick that needed saving, And he's like, oh, that's her, when he saw her on the TV.
So do you think they mean was Laura Charles?
Yeah, the entertainer.
Not just a pretty vanity.
Right, he just thought it was the chick that needed saving that night before, and that's when Richie gets on him like, oh, you wouldn't know what to do with that. Remember, because he kept saying, Richie, y'all remember that scene? Yeah, I remember that scene very well, because I was the same way. I never really looked at a woman for what she does. I looked at a pretty woman and be like, oh, she needs saving, yes.
Okay, so you're saying yes.
I'll say yes. You got it.
Okay, let's see.
Because that's another trick question on that.
Oh, you said no. No, this is your responses, so.
I'm saying no.
Okay, submit your answers.
Right.
Number 1, correct. Shown up tomorrow. Number 2, we got Natasha and Sophia. Number 3, the Bruce Lee movie. This is incorrect. So it was not Into the Dragon. The Bruce Lee movie that Laura had shown Leroy was Fists of Fury, not Into the Dragon. Likely mistake, people.
Yeah, because she did a collage of flowers opening, lightning storms, pump fist to the screen, and then the one side jumping sidekick, which was also utilized Into the Dragon. Right, gotcha. At the movie theater, he actually did that with Showing Up. That's the movie that was playing.
Oh.
Yeah. So she only used one bit from that movie.
And it was also the Connection one.
Yeah. French
Connection, yeah.
China Connection, I think that's what they call their version of it.
Okay.
Because French Connection is his own spy movie.
Here, right, okay. Number 4 was how many goons does Shown Up had? Your answer 7. The correct answer was 6. There were 3 ladies who were taunting Leroy and 3 men who threatened to snap him in 2.
White Kid, Beast, and the upper cat. Right, Shown Up made the 7. Yeah, okay.
Want to snap little Johnny in 2.
Little ladies, yeah, okay.
Number 5, we gave you that one. He broke the table with his head.
Yeah, I was saying this, yeah.
Number 6, did the trainer that Leroy Sensei sent him to find give him the answer he needed? You said yes, the answer is no.
But
the so-called trainer, Some Dumb Boy, was actually a fortune cookie making machine.
Right.
So.
But it did help me when he was confused.
Yes, metaphorically. Okay? If we're thinking.
I'm gonna get that one, son.
Number 5, Daddy Green was Leroy Green. Number 6, Richie never bought a ticket to get this.
No.
Number 9, there's one place that you have not yet looked, but it is there. Now I sound like the child. Okay, sorry. Only there you shall find the master. Wakanda forever.
I'm sorry.
Does Leroy know?
Accents in that movie were horrible.
Well,
except Forrest Whitaker just kills me. And sent the Black Panther 3.
No, that was Forrest. That was it.
Oh no, let me do my Forrest Whitaker. And set the Black Panthers, strip him of the powers, and now you fight for the throne. He's still doing King of Scotland. 10 years later, what?
Well, he was in Africa.
Please, I have to do an African accent for ABC, and trust me, they want that
Let's
shit.
Let's hear it. What you got?
I ain't got it. It's just like, you know what, that guy, mine came out
Give
Russian.
it a whirl.
Mine came out Russian, so I don't know. I sound like Ivan.
Keep working on it, like you said, 24 hours, so no sleep
I drink
today.
Blanco when I come out and I do that, so that I can tell you I drink the vodka and I've been over in Russia.
Yeah, that's so Russian.
Suffering, majorly, because the military is not crumbled.
Right, okay. Does Leroy know who Laura Charles was before Richie talked to her? Your answer, no. Correct. He saw her at 7th Heaven in the beginning, but it was only when Richie talked for her at breakfast that he knew who she was. Thank you for playing the quiz. This was a great episode. Thank you, David, for coming on the show.
Go learn more.
We wish you the best. Is there websites? Is there places people can find you?
Just keep it simple. The brand is what it is. David DOTHEOH. I am a word, not a letter. A word. Because everything makes you say, oh snap, oh no he didn't, oh shit, and oh God, is that dude doing it again?
What about, oh hell no?
No,
not so much.
It's a little bit, you know.
Okay,
Let's say like, that's a Dave thing. Like I always tell people, there's 2 things people say, that's Dave or that's an ah moment.
Ah.
You see what I'm saying? So I always say it's David DOTHEOH all together at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And I'm not even gonna do the website as of yet. We had one, but I'm gonna keep that because my company, Magnificence, is now a shadow walk.
Okay.
It's only for people to learn from, not to be out to the general public.
Okay, well, you all have a special treat by having him here on the show today. So thank you for coming again. Sean, thank you for your expertise back there. You are doing an excellent job. Don't ask me for $45,000. This is Tony, Chicago Slim, and I am out.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Chicago Slim coming with the win. Super Puppy Podcast, Super Puppy Podcast, the best podcast, Super Puppy Podcast, the best. This is Super Podcast, Puppy Podcast, the best podcast. Better than the rest, Super Puppy Podcast. Busting shots in your ass, Super Puppy Podcast. Don't sleep.